Well, I don't know if I've met anyone in Seattle that doesn't know Lance. That's kind of a joke, but...
If you're one of the few who doesn't know Lance Mercer, he's the Seattle photographer who captured that seismic shift in American music called grunge. And he was Pearl Jam's official photographer.
Official sounds so official. It was semi-official.
Anyway, you've probably seen Lance's iconic images of every notable Northwest band from the 90s in books and magazines like Rolling Stone, Spin, and Vanity Fair.
And then he's also participated as an artist. He was in a band called The Briefs that was very popular for a while. Lance met my mom through mutual friends, and actually one of their first dates was a photo shoot that he did of me when I think I was about 1.5, 2 years old. I think part of the reason that my mom fell for him is that he was, even though he was young, he was happy to incorporate a little toddler into his life.
Thanks to her stepdad, Evan DeLay's childhood rocked.
We obviously went to lots of concerts, which was really fun as a kid. I remember dancing in fields and dancing on stages and just loving every minute of soaking up the music with my sisters.
I just assumed that she was up to no good because I was a pretty wild kid. So I just, that's what I assumed, but I was completely wrong.
Next, I think we should focus on donor recruitment.
Today, Evan is a research nurse at Bloodworks Northwest, which serves Washington, Oregon, and Alaska. It also runs a cutting-edge research institute.
They provide the blood products that save lives in real time in the hospital.
It's a world away from Lance and his years at ground zero in a grunge music explosion.
Being in this, 2-foot photo pit with this sea of people behind me, I considered myself to be almost like a war photographer.
The war Lance is fighting now is much different.
Yeah, I had just a strange, what felt like a pulled muscle in my leg, and I went into the doctor. I thought I was going in just for a quick checkup.
Tell me your name and birthday.
Lance Mercer, 11/20.
2014, Father's Day. That's when Lance is told he has stage 4 lymphoma, a potentially fatal blood cancer.
And I remember I walked around, I stood up and I was pacing around her, and I started yelling at her that she didn't know what she was talking about.
It's scary, and you, especially when you're in the healthcare field and someone in your family's going through this, you want to be able to fix it.
It was really severe. I had it pretty much throughout my whole body.
So for the next 5 years, Lance faces a brutal fight for his life, which includes chemotherapy, radiation, and now a stem cell transplant. Hopefully, the infusion of healthy cells along with intensive chemotherapy can start producing normal blood cells instead of cancerous ones.
He was sick. He really was not feeling well.
Just, really, really extreme flu-like symptoms where all you want to do is just kind of be keeled over, in the fetal position.
The day came for the transplant. I was working here at Bloodworks, so I was going to be the after-work visitor, bring dinner if he was up for eating and that sort of thing.
And before long, Evan gets some photos from Lance.
And I looked in the picture, and he said, "These are my cells getting delivered."
There's Lance, but who is this?
Oh my gosh, who is that delivering your blood cells? That looks like my coworker. Hey, Denise.
It is. Photos show her colleague, Denise Farrer, delivering stem cells for Lance's procedure. At that moment, Evan discovers another vital part of Bloodworks' mission.
And that's how I learned that was even part of what Bloodworks did.
Saving lives suddenly gets personal. Evan is working for the company that could save her stepfather's life.
Last year, I just came to terms with the fact that it's part of who I am, rather than getting frustrated that it's not going completely away.
Yeah.
There's plenty of times where I was just exhausted and I didn't want to deal with any part of it. I can still live my life normally.
Yeah.
The stem cell transplant does bring some relief, but the war is far from over.
My lymphoma being pretty stubborn, I had some hot spots in my stomach and chest and neck.
Which means a new strategy is needed to combat the cancer. A clinical trial with new drugs is seen as a last hope.
So this is a scan from right before we started your study drug.
Dr. Raya Mawad is Lance's oncologist at Swedish Hospital. Today she's sharing an update on the trial and the impact, if any, it's had on the lymphoma with Lance, Evan, and her sister Mackenzie.
So I would say that everything is improved compared to November.
That's amazing.
And you're tolerating the drug really well, and so I think we should keep going. You're doing great.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
That's amazing.
It's great.
Yeah. I was kind of in shock, to be honest. Like, I can just be normal and just kind of go about my life now.
Lance and Evan are telling his story, hoping to inspire others to give the life-saving gift of blood.
I don't know how else to say it, but without it, people won't survive.
33 years ago, Lance Mercer brought a little 2-year-old girl into his life.
Where was this one again?
This was Kitsap County, Lollapalooza '92. It's Chris Cornell.
Who'd have known that one day she'd be a part of saving his?
Oh, that's my brother.
I already was proud of where I worked, and it made it even more powerful for me that I'm really working at an organization that's not just changing anybody's life or other people's lives, but my family's life.
Watch CityStream Thursday nights at 7 on the Seattle channel, or get video on demand and podcasts anytime at seattlechannel.org.